How many of you know this song? Okay. How many of you know this song? You know it's a Christian play. Let's see. How many of you know this song? No, it's not for the prize. How many of you know this song? You know it, huh? All of you. How many of you like it? There's no prize for that one. So before I even start on what I'm going to talk about today, there's just two things that I want you guys to know. Number one, I want you to imagine at a church. Okay, so at our church, what we do is we have praise and worship split into 15 minutes, 15 minutes. So you have your praise songs, 3 praise songs, 3 worship songs, blah, blah. I want you to imagine that you're going to church and for the first praise song is violin for the first song, the praise. I want you to imagine how the church would be active. As in, it's allowed to play it. It's just the energy for how you think people would. Second song, Chris Brown. And what song does he do the breezy in? It's in... Yeah. So it's actually, second song is the Chris Brown song. Give me a third one. That's pretty much liked by everyone. Okay. So those are 3 worship songs. Then our 3 praise songs, our 3 worship songs, and then we'll have 1 worship song because everyone will just get into a state. We'll have John Legend, all of me. Okay? And this is the picture that will probably have. Your praise will probably be on fire. Everyone will be dancing, everyone will be in it, everyone will be doing the dance and everything. Then your worship song, everyone will be crying, in it. And all that stuff, because that's the effect. Point number 1, whatever you do during the week leading up to Sunday will affect your Sunday. So, because maybe every day you listen to, use John Legend, maybe every day you listen to that song during the week, you listen to it twice a week. When you listen to it like on a random occasion, so you go to that random party or random whatever, and you listen to it, that thing, because it's already in you, you're going to respond to it. But if you don't, so this is what happens with us believers is, we hear a song on Sunday, it might be a song we like, it might not be a song we like, and then we don't get moved by it because during the week it's not the same as how much we listen to it with other songs. Okay? Same thing with reading the Bible. If you're not going to read the Bible, I'm not saying every day, it's a hard thing, but consistently, even on Sunday, when it comes to Sunday, you're not going to feel anything. You might even walk in and walk out and feel nothing. But if I was to tell you to listen to that song in a week, you would feel a lot on that Sunday. If I told you to listen to it Monday, Wednesday, and then on Sunday, you would cry. It would be amazing to get to a point where people can go and praise and worship as believers and dance and sing. I came in when you guys were doing your jumpy songs, but I know that you guys can do way better if I was to play something else that you guys were actually into. In fact, you guys would be waiting to actually go by dance floor and do something. So that's what you want to get to. Number 1, you want to have a point where you can go into worship and actually feel the same way that you'll be feeling with any other song. All of me, if you're singing that and you're crying, you're feeling something. You're feeling the love of that song. As a believer, you want to feel the love to God or the love of God in a worship song. You want to do the same thing, if not more. That's number 1. Number 2, how many of you take phones to church? Okay, cool. How many of you WhatsApp in church? Everyone, right? Okay, so number 2, have you ever noticed that whenever you're doing things that are God-centered, something always comes up, like a message will come in during church, or when there's just some church thing, there's always something else that's like contending. Have you ever got that? I get all the time. Okay? One thing you must know is the devil is always trying to distract you when it comes to church things. Very easy example. Have you noticed that a lot of girls get a phone call? What time do you finish church? I finish at 6. I'll come pick you up at 6 o'clock. A lot. Right? If it's a guy, if it's a whatever, it's normally the guys. These are guys, easy example. He'll say, I'll come pick you up after, or my church finishes at 10. Cool. At 10:05, I'll come pick you up and we'll go somewhere else. So he's taking away. Why is that? Wherever you go, let's say you go to a party, and it's 1 a.m. Why doesn't anyone ever call you and be like, I need to be waiting up after, it's kind of obvious. If you're finishing at 1 a.m., if your party is 1 a.m., so let's just use it, I like to use extreme. So let's say you're at the club and it's 1 a.m., and you know you're going home, oh, it's finishing at 1. Do you ever get a message of someone calling you and saying, as soon as you're done, we need to go read the Bible, we need to go, like, sing some hill song in the corner? No, right? Because it's different when it comes to the things of God. Devil is always trying to distract you to make you seem that God must be number 2. So that's why even in church, you get a WhatsApp, in church, like, or someone on a Sunday, it's always like, what are you doing after, what are you doing after, what are you doing after? But when it comes to like having fun and whatever, there's never someone who will be like, okay, so at 2 a.m. I'm going to come pick you up and then we'll go do something churchy. So that's one thing you guys just watch out for. Number 1 is just the praise and worship. Number 2 is your distraction. When it's God's time, just try and focus yourself into that stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to start. Hi. Okay, how many of you, is there any round adapter in here? Anyone have a round adapter on them? Okay, let me know what this is. Round plug, right? Okay, so no one has an adapter? Okay. Whoever can get to this thing first, second, right? Whoever can get to, I'm only going to use 3 scriptures today. Someone go, Jeremiah 29 verse 11. Very common verse. Are you there already?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Please stand up and read it, and after you're done, please come get your CD. Jeremiah 29 verse 11 to 14. When you're ready. 14, yeah, when you're ready.
Okay. For I know the plans that I have for you, says the Lord. Plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Then you will call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will hear you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. I will be found by you, says the Lord, and I will restore your fortune and gather you from all the nations and all the places where I have driven you, says the Lord, and I will bring you back to the place from which I sent you into exile.
Okay, thanks. I hope it takes. Okay, so it's a very easy verse. We all know it. God is saying, I've got plans for you, and pretty much is saying, I made you and I know everything about you. Okay? How many of you know that if you're going to call yourself a Christian, or if you've been called to be a Christian, that you all have specific things about you that make you different? I like to call them signatures. You know what a signature is? Okay, so if I say all of you have a signature, all of you in this room have a signature. I won't ask you what it is. But that's the thing about being a speaker, is you have to be open. So, would you allow me to be open with you guys? It's going to get a lot quieter than you just now. Okay, so, let me tell you my signature. My signature is, it's a combination of everything. When I was up to 6, when I was up to 6, actually, throughout junior school, life was fine. You go through bullying, whatever, you get over it. When I was in upper 6, my parents split up. You get over it. So, when I was in upper 6, my parents split up. I would never have thought my parents would split up. I went to St. George's. You know, you go to schools where you think this stuff doesn't happen to me. It's only for Jerry Springer stuff. So, like, you never think it's going to happen to you. So, out of the blue, my parents split up. They didn't divorce, but they just separated. So legally they were married, but they just weren't staying at the same house. So they separated. So it took me quite hard that I couldn't understand what was going on. Anyway, nevertheless, after that, I think around 20, I had this girlfriend who I thought this is the one I'm going to marry when I was 20. Did not happen. Okay? So let's just put that in as well. That was the signature. So that the hurt of my parents and then rejection as well. Then, but my most defining signature is that I'm what, 26. 26 this year. I think it was quiet. 26 this year. Okay? And for the life of me, actually, I remember, I think when I was in grade 7, I don't know who broke my heart, some convent girl did this. So, she broke my heart, and then I said, I was like, God, I never want to feel this type of hurt again, and I never want to feel this type of hurt, and I never want to, I think indirectly I was saying I never want to be with the girl until I'm married. I think indirectly I was just saying that. I was in a lot of hurt. So I'm 26 this year, and I'm still a virgin. Right. So let me tell you what my point is. My point is this. My signature from when I was born. I've tried. Let me not make it seem like it's been easy and whatever. I've come close to losing it. Very close. But just something will always happen. A phone call, I don't know, whatever. Actually, thank God that was him intercepting. So I've come close but never had. From the rejection, surprisingly, I'm one of those people who always pick myself up. So even if I'm told you can't do it, like I would think something in me will be like, I'll just try. And when I try, I actually do it. So my signature is I'm different. You can even ask those people about it. To a certain extent, I'm very different. If you hang around with me, I'm just different. I'm not freaky, I'm not strange, I'm just different. There's certain things that I can't do even if I try. So those are some of my signatures. Now signatures are things that, it's not always a good thing. Sometimes, like I said, it can be a bad thing. Sometimes it can be abuse. From my child, like I was saying, I was bullied and I didn't really know my parents. Well, I knew my mom, but my dad, just know all these African fathers. He's a doctor, so that whole feelings to me, it was like really. So signatures are not always good things. Some of you guys will have bad signatures. So it'll be abuse. It'll be, some of you maybe are very good at encouraging yourselves. Some of you might, like the same thing as me, have the whole thing where even if no matter how close you try, like virginity is just sticking to you. It's not going to leave. Okay, so you guys almost know that you have the signature. Now, if I was trying to be something that I'm not, so if I try to lose it, which I don't know if I can, maybe I can. Let's just say I wanted to and I could today. And, I take a little drive and I do that. Maybe it would like the process would go through. Maybe God would be like, okay, I'm done with this kid. He clearly wants to do it. Or maybe something will come up again. But there's certain things in your life, if you look back, there's certain things that make you unique from other people. Such that some people start calling it strange. But it's a signature. It's there because it makes you different. It's the thing that makes you different from other people or other societies or other behaviors. So that's where the round plug notion is I believe that believers are round plugs. Everyone here. If you're going to call yourself a believer, you're like a round plug. Like the one that I don't know if it's the one. Who stole it? So it's like a round plug, right? All of you are like this. And the world is square. Now, can a round plug fit into a square socket? No matter how much you try, right? It won't. But here's the thing. It's not going to be that easy. So you can be like, yeah, well, I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, and I'm different, and they're not, so it's fine. Let me tell you. There are some people who will act like they are round plugs to be with you, but they're actually square plugs. Give an example. Do Christian guys always go for Christian girls? Right? What guys will do is, in fact, un-Christian guys actually prefer Christian girls more than un-Christian girls. there's a whole thing about a challenge, and then there's Umbushanga, and the ego, whatever. But let me tell you one thing. You have this round plug, who's the girl, right? And you can see it's connected to 3 wires. And then there'll come this Christian brother, who's a square. And he's trying to force Kwan's but as Peter, like, you'll be like, no, but you're not a believer, and I'm not. But you're not totally sure. So you're like, okay, fine. Then, what guys will do is, guys can manipulate the situation. So I can read quickly, oh, if the church is what you want for me to get you, church is what you'll get. So that's why you find that a guy suddenly starts coming to your church. Or starts suddenly saying, yeah, you know, today I went to church with my parents and it's not so bad. Or something like And so inside you're now thinking, well, he's a believer now. So it's fine. So what he's done is, I want you to imagine if I had a square plug here, he's taken off the square plug, which is this, and he's just left with his wires. And all he's done is, he's come, and let's say it's supposed to put 3 wires into the square plug here. Right? He's come and attached himself. So that's when he's pretended to be, now he's pretending to be round. So he'll come and tell you, yeah, you know what, but you know my parents go to church, and what, yeah, I believe God is there and whatever. So you'll think, oh, okay, you know, it's fine. So what he's done is he's just thrown off the square plug, and now you're just seeing, oh, okay, fine. And then, you know, he joins. So maybe you're going out. How many of you are in relationships right now? I'm not going to prophetically say, yeah, it's the wrong thing, whatever. If you're in a relationship, throw up your hand. Only. Is this a rule not to date? Okay, so, alright. So, it's like being in a relationship with this guy who's just connected directly to your round plug. Now, I don't know if you guys are doing it in physics and whatever, but a short circuit happens when you try to connect live wire into a plug. So if you get live wires and you just connect them in there, you risk having a short circuit. Okay? What am I saying? I'm saying it's possible for you to be in a relationship with a guy who's pretending to be a believer, or pretending to actually be the real thing. And on the surface, you look fine. So you're going out with him and, you know, it's fine, your body doesn't start to change, you don't turn green, it's fine. If we see you, it's like, you're still chido, you're still whatever, still fine, it's fine. But inside, what happens is, in the plug, it causes a short circuit. So it burns, things start to burn inside. When you're in a relationship with the wrong person, and they connect themselves to you, most of the time, 100% of the time, there is the fact that that relationship will cause internal burning inside you. So you can grow to be 26, 27, and we can see you and you can appear to be fine. That's fine, you're fine. You're still a plug. But internally, you've been damaged. There's a bit of burning, there's a bit of hurt, there's a bit of something. And we can't see that because it's inside. And you might not think it's a problem, because you'll be like, well, it's just another guy, and and I'm over him, man. Fine, it's cool. So you can't see that there's internal damage. So you go to the next relationship, maybe you go to the relationship, you might even meet the right guy. And then still, because of that internal burning, it's not going to click. There'll always just be something. Okay? That's why it's very important that if you're in a relationship, I'm not saying go home and, you know, tell the guy, hey, it's been good. I love the person to know, but like, this one guy was saying, the thing is, what I want you to do is to think about it. Go home and think. I like giving people options. Go home and think about it. Number one, I hope none of them will be saints, by the way, because then this will just be counter. But number one, go home and first of all ask yourself these questions. What am I doing with this? What am I in this relationship? If I'm a round plug, is he a round plug? If he's not a round plug, or you suspect he's not a round plug, do you think that he's connected his wires? Which might not be a problem. But do you think that in him connecting his wires, so maybe he's not a believer, but he's not so bad, his influence in my life, have I noticed that it does cause some kind of internal fracture? Some. If it does, then you need to think about it today. As soon as you are, don't take time in thinking about, I'll skip a month and whatever. I think the policy is if you want to break up with something that's bad, do it instantly. I'll give scripture for that. Abraham was told, leave everything and just dip. He's like, nah, dip. Dip. Lot and his wife. He said, leave them and just run. But, run. Okay? Even your friends, some of you are. If you know that that friendship is not really producing anything, today, even coming out of this room, be like, listen, thing is, okay, no, today. Don't pray about it. Don't pray about it. But once you're sure, do it there and then. Okay? Because let me tell you, this is what we do. We're like, but Hannah's been my baby from like way back, and I can't cut her out. What you're basically saying is God is saying, I want you to leave everything. And you're like, yeah, but that's like my... And he's like, I want you to leave everything and go. Now, Lot's wife did that. She was like, but she looked back. He was like, don't look back. She looked back. She turned into salt. So, it is possible that God will tell you, listen, this friendship, this relationship, this thing that you're doing, I want you to cut it off from today. Don't be nice with it. Just if you feel that strongly, I need to cut this off, do it then and then. Otherwise, I promise you will never do it. But by the time you've done it, damage has been done. So eventually, maybe after a year or so, you might be like, hey, listen, I just realized that, you know what, you always use me, whatever, to touch myself in your life. But inside, it's like so toasted that now to repair that is going to take you 3 times as long. Okay? People want relationships, they're really looking at me like, okay, and scripture for that is 2 Corinthians, I think it's 6:4. Just the one, I don't need to go there, but the one that says, don't be unequally yoked, so that's sort of basically, okay. So, 6:4. Okay, so, the last thing I want to talk about is, if we're going to say that being a believer is around life, so that's being around, then obviously God must be around life as well, right? Okay, so, if on this planet being a believer is a round plug and the world is a square plug, then in heaven, being a round plug is a round plug, and then what is heaven? If here is a round plug and the world is square, then in heaven, if you're a round plug, if you're a round plug, what is heaven? It's a round plug, right? It's a round circle. So this is what I'm getting to. All God wants for you is not for you to be this holier than thou person. It's not for you to be different, to be strange, or to be freaky, or anything. He wants you to be yourself, but he wants you to be around plug. Because then there's you know about Judgment Day, right? Yes. So God is going to come. And let's just put it in simple analogy. He comes with an adapter that's round. And all he's doing is he's just going to walk around. Let's say he just came to walk around the room. And he's just going to walk past and say, put yourself in there. Now, if you've been trying to be, or if you've now become a square plug, it's just going to be like, and you'll be like, let me try one more time. You can try it many times. Okay? You can even be like, it's almost. You can try as many times as you want. If it doesn't fit, he's just going to move on to the next person. And all that he's looking for is that the day when this plug will need an adapter. Okay? Just like that. If this doesn't happen, we can't roll with you.